Werkschauarbeiten, Ausstellungen und Installationen rund um das Thema Mensch, Tier und Maschine stellten einen der inhaltlichen Schwerpunkte der Cyberarts 2011 dar. Marion Laval-Jeantet, Gewinnerin der Goldenen Nika in der Kategorie Hybrid Art, hat mit ihrem Projektpartner Benoit Marchand dieses Thema auf sehr ungewöhnliche Art aufgegriffen. In May the Horse Live in Me ließ sie sich im Rahmen einer Live-Performance Blutplasma eines Pferdes injizieren. CTV sprach mit der Künstlerin über das Verhältnis Tier-Mensch, Symbole und die Idee hinter diesem Projekt.
At the start it should have been a panda. Because the first intention was, okay, endangered species just survive through the will of humanity, which is a shame. So we wanted to have panda's blood in my vein. I wanted it because I thought, well, at least the panda will survive through me. I don't know what panda, but part of the panda. And, well, we were not taken seriously by the zoo asking panda's blood, so it was very difficult. And after, for the research, the laboratory told us, you need more blood, so you will need an animal that is more affordable. And we chose the horse because there is a strong mythology about centaurs. And I never understood this mythology, so I thought maybe I would understand it better. You know, if you go on the internet, you even have websites quoting the sexual life of centaurs. And I mean, there are no real quotation about that in the Greek texts. So where does it come from? I mean, it's going on, this fantasy, and it's much bigger than the one of Minotaur or of Pigman, you know. So we thought, yeah, this is fascinating. Plus, well, you told me that the horse is more female figure, but for French or Latin people, it would be the male, because it's like, you know, all the centaurs that are known, they are male. The famous one of the antiquity, of the mythology, Greek mythology, they are men. They never quote any centaurs, male centaurs. So, yeah, that might be quite fascinating to be assuming a big organism that would, for lots of people, be supposedly male as a woman. I mean, that means it's even more transgressive to be tiny and to try something that is really big and powerful. What I think anyway is that we have little concerns for animals. I don't know why I have lots of concerns for them. All the people, each time I was involved in animal shows, they were wondering, why are you interested by animals? And I could not tell. I mean, I was surprised that people were not. So, I mean, for me, the weird thing is not to be fascinating by them. It's really being not fascinating. Because I always thought, you know, I'm also an anthropologist, and in anthropology, you know that first, I mean, the first alien is your husband and children, and then you have the neighbors, and then you have the foreigner, and the foreigner from another continent, and so on. And after you have the animals and the vegetables. So it's getting further and further. And I've always been very concerned by the problems of the other. I was always fascinated by the other. Probably I am getting bored with myself. And so the animal is a very fascinating other. I mean, this is another, each time, if you were putting two people, I mean an animal and a human in the same room, much more things would happen than two humans. The two humans might even sit without talking to each other, or they might talk. But if there is an animal, there is immediately a very sensual concern about the other. And so, but this is always going through a non-verbal expression. And art is very much about non-verbal expression. So for me, it was just a way to act as an artist, trying to involve the animal in me, to embody it, and so to understand things that anyway your mind would not really be able to tell in clear forms, very rational one. And finally, after the experiment, which was very rich in sensation, I must say that I'm just slowly thinking about the consequences in terms of rationality and analyzing. And it's weird. I can say that there are things in the animal story, genetically speaking, that makes them react in a way that human would not know. And those things, I could experiment them, because suddenly I had all those proteinic indicators in my body targeting different organs with crazy information that made my body very anarchic and answering like if I was a horse, which was a weird thing for me, but very, very exciting.
And because you talked about the other, do you feel, or did you feel as the other in this moment?
I felt it, but I was behind myself, I should say. I think the people around me felt it more, because for them I was really weird. I was acting in a very uncommon way, very nervous, screaming, dancing, being really abnormal and fearing everything. I mean, this has provoked lots of change for a short time, but quite efficient. And for myself, I thought your body anyway is another to yourself. When I was 15, I've been bitten by many wasps, and the pain was so crazy that I was laughing, because I felt like I'm in a body which is incredibly painful. What is this body? I was getting separated from my body just to be able to bear the pain. And I thought, well, this body is crazy. It's suffering a lot. And that made me laugh. And in some ways, with this experiment, I had the same kind of extreme sensation of having an anarchic things going on in me, which was very weird. And so I took lots of notes, and I discovered that, probably most of the reactions I had were not mine, not human at all. But it's true that lots of things goes to the mind through the body. I think this is the most exciting research we try to go on with. I mean, I'm really fascinated by all the information that comes from the body to the mind and change even your mind.
Andere Höhepunkte der Cyberarts 2011 waren Beiträge wie Face to Facebook, The Hacking Monopolism Trilogy von Paolo Cirio und Alessandro Ludovico sowie der Videobeitrag Cinema for Primates von Rachel Mayeri. In ihrer Arbeit inszenierte die amerikanische Künstlerin ein Fernsehstück für Schimpansen, welches Mensch und Tier näher zusammenrücken lassen soll. Die Cyberarts 2011 bot dieses Jahr wieder kreative Einblicke in die Welt von morgen. Die Frage, welche Lösungen sich durchsetzen werden, bleibt spannend.